Today we're featuring a very affordable bronze dive watch with 300 meters of water resistance from up-and-coming micro brand PHOIBOS. Every time I feature one of their watches here on my channel, I'm always impressed by the quality for the price, especially when it comes to the Lume. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a really affordable 300 meter dive watch in all bronze from PHOIBOS. So it's been a little while since I featured a PHOIBOS here on my channel. However, today we have a very affordable 300 meter dive watch to show you guys. Obviously, this is in all bronze. You're getting a bronze bezel with a bronze insert as well. This one is getting the salmon dial. However, I would say this almost looks like a copper dial. The color is closer to copper, in my opinion, than it is to salmon. You get tons of lume on the dial of this watch. The entire chapter ring is lume. Then you have these big fang teeth sort of indices. Those are very liberally applied with lume. The hands, those are sword hands, liberally applied with lume as well. There is no lume on the second hand, I believe. There might be just a little bit on the tip of that arrow. It's a lightning bolt second hand. We'll do a Lume Shot towards the end, of course, to check that out. The dial itself sort of has a sand texture. You have the PHOIBOS logo there right below the 12 o'clock index, and then above the 6 o'clock index, it just says automatic 300 meters of water resistance, or 300 meters. That is it. So there's not a lot going on the dial, which I of course love. You do have a lumed pip as well. I think they put like something like 16 or 20 layers of BGW9 on this dial. Like I said, we will do a Lume Shot. You have a date at the 3 o'clock that has a surround around it. Basically all of the indices that are applied, those get a rose gold tone surround on them, and so does that date window at the 3 o'clock, which is not color match, and it sort of takes the place of the 3 o'clock index to counterbalance the 9 o'clock index. You have a bezel insert that is also made out of bronze, and that is engraved. So all of the indices on there are engraved, and then there is sort of a sand texture below that. Then you have polishing along the bezel's edge, and when you flip the case on its side, this sort of reminds me of a samurai maybe a little bit. They're calling this the Proteus, I believe. I think I've actually featured this watch in stainless steel here on my channel. That was a little while ago. I think it was a few years ago. It has a very large grippy crown. Now it's not large in the sense of being wide. It's actually pretty long and wide. And then you have the PHOIBOS logo, that octopus right there. And you can see the sides are basically brushed. You have sort of slab sides on the watch, and you can see the lugs are angular, so there's pretty angular lugs on here, and there's a little bit of polishing, a polished edge that goes along the top of the case itself, and it goes down onto the lugs. You get an Italian leather, brown leather strap on here, which is a really nice strap with cream stitching, and then of course they put a big buckle on here, which is signed and of course in bronze as well. Flipping it over, it has the PHOIBOS logo right there. Screwed in case back in stainless steel. It's really nicely embossed and stamped, really nicely finished. And of course you have that octopus. It just says PHOIBOS 300 meters, just like the dial. Very straightforward, not a ton of information. And like I said, this gets an automatic Seiko movement. You have the NH35 inside. So quickly, I'm going to do some very quick measurements, and then we will throw on the UV light. But very quickly, let's talk about price. I don't believe I have talked about price yet. $318 is what they are charging for this watch. I think normally it's around $375. Right now they're offering, I think it's like 15% off or something like that. So really good price for a very capable dive watch. Again, you get a sapphire crystal. I believe it is a dome sapphire crystal, and it does have AR coating as well. So 41.1 millimeters at the bezel. It's a little bit bigger at the case. I would say it's almost 42 millimeters at the case. So 42.1 millimeters. The crown itself, 6.8 millimeters. And then the lug to lug is actually pretty tight, considering, and I would say this watch is probably made to compete with the likes of the Hammerhead from Zelos, so 49.1, and obviously they're undercutting the price of that watch with good reason. 41.1. It is a very popular watch. This has a lot of the look and the style of the Hammerhead without being a copy of the Hammerhead. really nice watch, very well made. And I really love the copper dial on here. I won't call it salmon because it's really not salmon. For $318, I don't think you can go wrong. Very quickly, I'm going to throw it on my wrist, then we will do a Lume Shot. Today, I have on my titanium or super titanium Citizen ProMaster Dive automatic. This gets a Miyota movement inside a Miyota 9000 series, and this is an all titanium. I love this watch. It's really just a very comfortable, great everyday watch. I believe they say it's an Italian-made strap, and yeah, I don't doubt it. It's very, very nice. Especially for $318, you really cannot go wrong with this watch if you're in the market for a bronze diver with 300 meters of water resistance. This is a good-looking watch. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Anyway, very quickly, let's do a Lume Shot. So another thing that Phoibos never disappoint in is obviously the lume. The lume is always very liberally applied. I did forget to do the bezel action on here. This does have a polished bezel, and my hands are pretty dry, but has pretty good grip. Not excellent. It's a little bit hard for me to grab. You could hear it sounds pretty good, and it feels really nice. Bronze bezels are a little bit weird sometimes, but this one is actually really, really nice and sounds and feels very good. Anyway, really good lume on here. Obviously, that entire chapter ring is lumed. There is a little bit of lume on the tip of that arrow, just a little bit, which of course I like, so you can see this watch is actually working when the lights are out. And you do get a lumed pip. That pip is pretty large. Entire chapter ring and all of the indices are very liberally applied with lume. Anyway, guys, tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Phoibos? I ask this very often. I know that they're trying to make a name for themselves in the industry by sort of undercutting some of the best manufacturers, the micro brand manufacturers out there like Zelos, and I really do think they make a quality product on par with brands like Zelos at a cheaper price, but they don't have the name recognition as Zelos does right now. In the future that might change, but Zelos currently one of the most popular micro brands. These are made in Hong Kong, not in Singapore either, so there's a difference there as well. Not that that really makes that huge of a difference, but these are made in Hong Kong. So tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you in the next video.